Continuing with today's show, moving on to the next segment, there was a big fight over the weekend as Gervonta Davis knocks out Mario Barrios in the 11th round. And I wanted to know, what was your guys' reaction when you saw it happen?
Well, I was sort of soft here. My reaction was it was a very entertaining fight on a Saturday night where you had the NBA Western Conference Finals game going to the wire, and you're just like, you know what? No shot am I watching that low-scoring game, giving up this fight for. And man, Gervonta Davis, what can I say about this guy? He's very powerful, man. And that fight was close. I had to fight a draw prior to the round that Barrios got knocked down in, which I believe was the 8th round. Yes, it was the 8th round that he got knocked down in. And Zay, I would say this, man. When you look at Floyd Mayweather and his ability to give advice in the ring to a guy like Gervonta Davis, that's so underestimated. The fact that he's getting live coaching from Mayweather, one of the defensive wizards of boxing, one of the greatest boxers of all time, top 10 of all time. He's actually being coached. It was Mayweather who told Gervonta Davis prior to that round that he knocked Barrios down in the 8th with a right shot to the temple that you're trailing in the unofficial scorecards. And right after he said that, he knocked him down. He knocked Barrios down in the 8th with a shot right to the temple, knocked him down twice. And I'm just saying, Gervonta Davis is grasping the information that Floyd Mayweather is telling him. I didn't like the fact that at times he would turn around when he heard Mayweather talking to him. I thought you got to be careful. You can't just turn around mid-fight. You get knocked out like that. But the fact that he's grasping the information, the fact that he has a tank for a right hand, clearly the smaller guy, moving up in rate and basically going toe-to-toe with Barrios. Shout out to Barrios. He fought as well as he could. It was a draw. I had it a draw prior to the rounds that he got knocked down in. He came alive in the 10th round and the 11th round, battled back. But Gervonta Davis, what was more impressive, as well as his offense, was his defense. He knew when he had to defend himself. He always had his guard up, even though at times he was a little bit overly aggressive, and Barrios was connecting on the body shots where he was overly aggressive. He still managed to edge him out with a nice TKO victory, and Gervonta Davis is up from here.
Man, I agree with Gervonta Davis. Kudos to him, man. It was a tough fight for him, being 5'5" and having the lower reach. Barrios was being 5'10" and had a 4-inch reach above him. It was a tough fight to go into it, but Gervonta Davis' greatness and his technicality in boxing is just something that we haven't seen in a little while, and I love to see it, And I personally think he needs to be on that pound-for-pound list. He needs to be up there on that list. It's just how I feel about his talent as a boxer. The first 4 rounds, Barrios was landing. He outlanded. The first 4 rounds, Barrios outlanded Davis. He had the reach. He was establishing a jab. I feel like as Barrios' career goes on, I would like to see him jab more. Being a tall fighter, the jab is your best friend. It's the best thing you can use. I feel like he should have established it more if he wanted to win this fight against Gervonta Davis. Unfortunately, the result was that Davis, knocked him out with 2 clean shots, 2 clean knockdowns in the 8th, and then a final blow going later in the rounds. An interesting stat that I see on BoxingScene.com is that outside of the first 4 rounds, Davis landed 11 punches. Outside of that, he landed 85 punches, and that is just an amazing number to look at. This guy he's just like, as the fight goes longer and longer, he's getting better and better as the fights continue. That's something you don't see in many boxers. Many boxers, they establish their dominance early on, but then they kind of deter off as the rounds get later. Davis is just an amazing talent. This is his 25th knockout in 26 fights. This guy is killing the game, literally. He's just knocking down any opponent left and right. Right now, I only have 3 fighters ahead of him, and it's Canelo, it's Spence, and it's Crawford. And the reason why I have Spence and Crawford is because that welterweight division, to me, is the best division in boxing. They have so much talent in that pool. I love the way they just kind of fight. They have so many hitters in that welterweight division. It's tough to put any division above that welterweight. So, I feel like Gervonta Davis needs to be 4th on that pound-for-pound list because he's knocking out opponents left and right. People like Haney. People love Ryan Garcia. I understand the hype around them, but they're not Gervonta Davis. And I think once they step in a ring with him, they'll know why.
I disagree with him being a top 3 best active fighters. I was gonna call you out on that, so I'm glad that you brought it to the table, my brother. But as far as which division is the best in boxing, you can argue, and that's the good thing about it is that there's no definitive answer. I can make an argument for heavyweight, I can make an argument for welterweight, and I damn sure can and will make the argument for lightweight. I think that when you got guys like Shakur Stevenson, when you got guys like Gervonta Davis, when you got guys like Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, I mean, the list goes on. Lomachenko's still a dog. He won on Saturday as well. He showed why he's still the Matrix. So when you got all those talented guys, 7, 8 deep, probably 10 deep in the lightweight division, I think that's the best division in boxing. But I want to see Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez, because Teofimo Lopez literally dethroned the Matrix in Lomachenko, and he brought the fight to Lomachenko, and he possesses power that I feel can match Gervonta Davis's power. So he can box. He showed that he can box against Lomachenko, and he showed that he can get knockouts. So if you're going to beat Gervonta Davis, you have to know how to box, but you still have to have that power as well to go toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis. And I think Teofimo can do just that. And I'll just end this here. My main concern about Gervonta Davis is he going to get those big fights? Is he? Because, when you with Mayweather tends to be very business-like and very business theme-based when it comes to his decision-making and who he decides to fight for what amount of money. He's very business-like. He's not really a risk-taker. There's no shots to Floyd. He's just not a risk taker. And I have stats to back that up. Manny Pacquiao is more of a risk taker. So is Gervonta Davis going to take these big fights, or do we have to wait to see him fight guys? Yeah, Barrios, shout out to him, bro. It was a good-ass fight. But I want to see him fight against the likes of Teofimo, against the likes of Devin Haney, who is probably the best overall boxer. I won't say, power or anything, but as far as technician, I think Devin Haney got the title when it comes to that. But we'll see what happens with Teofimo Lopez's career going forward.
I also just wanted one last thing. Personally, I disagree with the Teofimo Lopez. I feel like Teofimo Lopez, outside of Lomachenko, that was the biggest name on his record, and I think the only name on his record.
That's a big-ass name to have on your record.
That's a huge name, but it's also Lomachenko with a 2-year, he stayed 2 years off on an injury, come back, and that was his first fight was Teofimo Lopez. I don't know if that was a tune-up, quote-unquote, if that was just a competition, but it's like Teofimo Lopez has yet to grant him his rematch for the belts. Lomachenko just fought the other night. He fought against Nakatani, and he beat him in fashion.
I think it sets up for a Teofimo Lomachenko rematch. I think he'll get it, and I won't be mad if Lomachenko don't get it, because Lomachenko was the cocky one. He was the one with the belts. He could have had a rematch clause. Most fighters, when they have the belts and they're the A side, they have a rematch clause. When you lose your belts, you can get them right back. That's what happened with Anthony Joshua and Maurice. There was a rematch clause. So I don't want people to say, oh, Teofimo is ducking Lomachenko. I mean, even if he is, it makes sense because, the rematch clause wasn't there. So you didn't give Teofimo Lopez enough respect. You thought you was going to win that fight easily. So that's why, I'm not mad. But I think eventually, and probably next up, he will get his rematch because Lomachenko looked really good. He looked really good in that fight against the Japanese boy. I forgot his name, so I'll call him Japanese. Nakatani, yeah. Forgive me, Nakatani. But yeah, he definitely looked good in that fight.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I stand by the Davis top 4 fight. I just like his game, man. He's defeated great opponents. And just one real quick numbers. Davis's last 5 opponents record combined is 155-15. That's a great number for last 5 opponents combined. The last opponent he had the last opponent that had more than 5 losses that he went against was in 2016, and that was Mario Barrios, 28-18. So Davis is fighting against great opponents. He's fighting against contenders, championship contenders recently, and he's winning the belts. He's defending the belts. He's right now currently a 3-division title holder. So I right now it's tough to say Davis is below anyone. I still feel like Teofimo Lopez has a lot to grow. He only has 15 wins, 15 matches, young. 15 wins. He's extremely young in his career, and he's gonna grow more. And I think the fighting world is gonna extend our wait for Davis versus Lopez or Davis versus Garcia or Haney for the latter future when all of them have the belts and they're all successful in their careers, which I can't wait to see. I just think Davis right now was at a level where it's tough to say he's anywhere below top 5. He's killing the game right now. He's knocking people out left and right. He is currently box office boxing, and I just don't know. I don't know if they could put him any lower than that.
And before we get to the next topic, I will just say this real quickly here. Think about the confidence Teofimo Lopez has to throw in Lomachenko. That's confidence right there. When somebody say this guy is the pound for pound king and you're young and you beat him, we think, all right, Lomachenko's gonna be better. He's gonna be more aggressive in the earlier rounds. But what about Lopez? He should be better in this fight with another year under his belt, being a young fighter in the second fight. So I think Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis makes sense going forward. I don't think we're gonna get that fight anytime soon. But I just hope we don't see another Canelo and Gervonta Davis. And what I mean by that, Canelo obviously is the best fighter in the world right now. But instead of fighting guys in your division, you can't make that ground up just by moving up in weight. Like how we see with Canelo, moving up to fight the guys like Germanchenko and Callum Smith. Yeah, moving up in weight is taking a risk because guys are taller than you, but it's not the same as fighting a Demetrius Andrade in your division, fighting a Charlo in your division. So I want to see Gervonta Davis, yes, moving up to fight Barrios, cute, whatever. You won the fight, you look good, but I want to see you fight Tank. I want to see you fight Ryan Garcia. I want to see you fight Haney, and hopefully we get those fights coming soon. Anyway, 1833 Radio BX is the request line, y'all, that y'all going to call to get into the show. On to the next.